For now, this is going to be the last video in this series. Now, if you've watched each video and understood what I was talking about, you should have a great understanding of the C++ programming language, especially the fundamentals necessary for getting a great mark in a C++ course. Now, I will be adding more content to this series. I plan to cover the things that I don't consider C++ fundamentals later on, maybe in a few weeks. I will also be adding practice problems and final exam walkthroughs. So those two last things, if you are studying for a test, you're going to want to look out for those because those will be extremely helpful for getting a great grade. Now, I want to treat you guys in this last video, and we're going to be designing a MMO character creation interface. So we're going to allow our users to create their characters for a MMO adventure RPG video game. So we know that if we're going to be storing information and we want them to store their characters so they don't lose them, we're going to have to store that inside of a file. We can't store it inside of a variable because that's a temporary storage. We can't just store it there forever. And if we don't store it anywhere, then whenever they shut the program off and turn it back on, they'll have to create a whole new character, which means if they want to keep their character, they'll have to keep the program on 24/7. They're going to never leave the computer. They'll be playing nonstop. They're going to get obese, and we don't want to be held responsible for these things. So we need to be able to save their information. So we can go ahead and get started. We know that if we're going to be creating a file, we obviously need to make a file object to be able to call upon that file. Now, if the file is not created in the directory where we get our files from for this program, which I'm going to show you guys again in this video. I showed it to you guys 2 videos ago, but I'll show it to you guys again in this video. If the file we're going to be writing is not there, we'll create it. So in this case, I'm going to be creating it, so I have no other files made. The only information for this program is the one you see on screen. So we'll start off by creating an object. So we write ofstream. Spell it correctly though, ofstream right there. And I'm going to go ahead and write the name of the object that I want to create, the file object. I'm going to write create character. So wherever I write create character, it will call upon the file that I put inside of these parentheses right here. And I'm going to call that file characters.txt. So this file over here with the extension, I remember this needs to be a string, so you need to pass it through in quotation marks. This is going to be the name of the file that's going to store all the information regarding the characters of the people who sign up. Now, I want to put that little safety to make sure that this opened correctly. So I'm going to write the if statement, the one we saw last video. I'm going to write if, and I'm going to write create character. So if the object for our file is open, so if it is open, we're going to display this message on screen. So cout, the file characters.txt is open. Nice. And if it's not open, we'll have the else message. And the else message will be the file characters.txt is not open. So this will ensure that the file that we use with the file object over here, create character, is open successfully. We're going to get this right message if it is. This is just a check to make sure everything works properly. We want to make sure we didn't make any spelling mistakes along the way and that everything is working fine. So it's good to have the safety net here. Now we want to go ahead and create some variables. I know we can't store the information permanently in variables, but we will need to store it temporarily while we transport it into the file later on. So we will go ahead and make some variables here. First variable I'm going to create is loop. And the first thing you can say is, why are we creating the variable loop? Well, we're going to be passing through our information inside of a while loop, and the while loop is going to allow us to create more than one character if we want. You're going to see the purpose of the loop later on, the loop variable. It's going to be part of our condition. So don't worry about it right now. Next, I'm going to have integer user ID, and this is going to count how many users we have signing up. And I want to store all of our information inside of a file nice and neatly, and I want each character's information to be on a different line. And I will want the first thing in each line to be what number that character is. So the first person to sign up is going to get a 1, and then we'll be increasing there on out. So remember, we'll start off here at 1 because the first person is going to be 1, and we'll have an increment in there inside of our loop that will allow the user ID to increase each time we pass through. Now we need to go ahead and create the important information, which is going to be the username. So we can write string because we know that their username is probably going to be some letters, and it's not just going to be numbers. So we can go ahead and write username. And we're not going to set that to anything because we want them to be inputting it. Next, we'll go ahead and create the class name, right? Whatever class they want to do. So I can't just go ahead and write class because we see that class is a keyword in C++, so it's not going to be able to allow me to use that. Instead, I'll write class name. This will be the class they decide to use. Next, I'll have race name. And now I'll have more information that MMOs will ask for. We'll say we'll have integer attack. So starting attack level, we'll have integer starting magic level, and we'll have integer starting armor level. So we'll have all those information that they can input. So we have all of this over here. Now we're ready to get started in making our loop. So we'll go ahead and make a while loop. Let's go ahead and make a while loop. So we write while, and we need to put our condition inside of here. Now, I don't know how many characters they're going to be inputting, so I'm going to allow the user to decide when they want to start playing the game or if they want to go ahead and create another character. So I'm going to write, say, while loop, which is the one we start up there, is not equal to 0, remember the exclamation mark equal is being not equal, we're going to allow our program to run. Now we need to have this equal to 1 or equal to something that's not 0 in order to get inside of our loop in the first place. So we'll leave it like that. And then at the end, I'm going to ask the user to either input 0 if they would like to start playing the game, or input 1 if they want to create another character, say for one of their friends. So we can go ahead and make our while loop, open it up right here. And now we have to have the long list of prompts and inputs. And this is going to be a long, tedious process, but bear with me while we go through this. It's going to look nice in the end, trust me. So we're going to put cout, and we'll start them off with a welcome message. Welcome. Please enter your desired username. End line. Spell it properly. End line. So we ask them to enter their desired username. Okay, that's fine. Now we know we need to go and put cin, and we just need to write the variable that we want them to enter. In this case, we want them to enter username. Next, we'll go ahead and we'll write, please select a class. And we can put 3 classes. I'll write warrior, mage, and then archer. So we'll have them actually write in text which one they want to use. Cin class name. Remember, you have to put class name and not class. We'll keep repeating the process. Now we say, please select a race. We'll put human, elf, and dwarf. End line. I look like a tool putting all these exclamation points, but whatever. Cin race name. Now we'll put, now it's what, attack level. So we'll put, please select a starting attack level. So we'll let them select a starting attack level. Cin attack. Cout, please select a starting magic level. End line. Put cin magic. Don't worry, I saw that spelling error with the select up here. I'll go ahead and fix that. I hate those spelling errors. Cout, please select a starting armor level. We're almost done. Don't worry, we are almost done. Cin armor. There we go. So we have all of our prompts there. We have everything ready that we need. And we obviously have to send all this inside the program, which we'll do in a moment. Now we also have to include that user ID, right? We know that user ID up here starts at 1, and we're going to want it to increase each time we pass through the loop, so we can go automatically to the next user. I'm going to write down here, I just write user ID, and we simply put ++ at the end, which means increase each time we pass through. Now we have to input all this information inside of our file. Now obviously I want to have the first person signing up, I want them to be user number 1. So I should put this information telling the loop to input all the things we just entered inside of the file. I should put it before this user ID increment operator right here. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit of space. Then we know if we want to put something inside of a file, we need to write the file object. We know our file object from up here is create character to access the characters.txt. So I'll write create character. We're putting some stream operators pointing towards it. And now we begin to enter the variables that we want, or in the specific order we're going to want them. So we know the first one we're going to want is user ID, right? We want the first thing that's going to be appearing on each line to be user ID. So in this case, we'll start off at 1 and go to 2 and 3 and so on. So I'm going to put some spaces in between each one to make sure this is nice and neat. So it's going to look really ugly. It's going to look like a really long, useless line of text. But remember, this is going to be beautiful when we finish. So I'm going to go ahead and put the next variable. I'm going to put username, put my space. Next, we'll go ahead and put class name, put your space. Next, we'll go put race name, put your space. Next, we'll go ahead and put attack level, starting attack level, put your space. You put magic level, put your space. And we'll go ahead and put armor level. And we'll go ahead and end line, then we're done. So we have everything written there. And I know it's ugly and we're going all the way to the next line, but bear with me, this is going to be perfect. So we have create character, we have all of our information, and it's going to come through. Then we have our user ID, so this will increase by 1. If we pass through the loop again, now user ID will be 2, and then we'll be able to write 2 for the next character that we're going to have inside of our file. Now we still need to have one more thing. We're missing one thing, which is, will the user be making another character, or do they plan to end the loop? So we'll go ahead and write cout. Please enter 0 if you want to begin the game. Please enter 1 if you want to create another character. End line. Now we're going to have them input for the variable loop. Loop. Right there. So now when they enter loop, they're going to enter 0 or 1. Now we're going to go up here and say if they enter 0, well, this means as long as loop is not 0, we can run the loop. Well, if loop is 0, we can't run the loop, and then we'll go to play the game, which we're not going to write the game today. Obviously, I don't want to make this video run on for a while. It's going to be a long video as is, but then the character customization would end if they put 0, or continue if they don't put 0. Once we're finished inside the loop, the only thing we have left to do is to go ahead and make sure that our file will close after it's finished. So we can go ahead and write the name of our operator. So we know we're going to write create character dot close, and then put your open and close braces, and then you are finished. So we have successfully designed a character customization or character creation screen for an MMO. Let's go ahead and try it out. Now we want to go ahead and create, let's say 3 characters, right? So we see exactly how this information is going to be stored inside of our file that I'm going to be accessing in a moment. So it says the file character.txt is open. Welcome. Please enter your desired username. So I'm going to say my username is going to be noobkiller5. I'm going to say my class, I can pick warrior, mage, or archer. I'm going to go and pick warrior. Please select the race, human, elf, or dwarf. I'll start off as human. Please select the starting attack level. I'm going to pick 500. Starting magic level, I'm going to pick 600. And starting armor level, I'm going to pick 20,000. Now it says, please enter 0 if you want to begin the game. Please enter 1 if you want to create another character. I want to create another character. I'm going to press 1. Welcome. Please enter desired username. Now I'm going to be noob owner 55. Yeah. Show up the first guy. I'm going to be a mage. I'm going to be dwarf. I'll start for the starting attack level of 60. Starting magic level of 2. And a starting armor level of 9,000. Please enter 1 if you want to make another character. I do want to make one more character. Welcome. Please enter your desired username. I am going to be, let's make sure it's down here. I'm going to be Course Grinder. Nice and simple. This is going to be my character. I'm going to make an archer. I'm going to be an elf. I'm going to make a starting attack level of 50,000, a starting magic level of 20,000, and I'll make a starting armor level of 50,000 as well, and I'm just going to own these noobs. Now, please enter 0 if you want to begin the game, which means we stop making characters, or please enter 1 if you want to continue and make another character. I'm going to go ahead and enter. I want to start playing this game with these 3 characters we just created. I'll press 0, and now the program is ended with exit code 0. Now what? Now the game would start, but we need all this information to be saved, right? All the information is saved, but where is it being saved? Well, I showed you guys this 2 videos ago, but we're going to look at it one more time. So we did all this information. We're going to see where it's going to be being saved. So you're going to press Xcode, the Xcode button on the top here, or wherever you find that you have all your information stored for the files used in your program. You're going to press Preferences right here. We're going to see we're in the Locations tab over here, and you want to find your derived data folder. So if you're not in Xcode, you're going to try to find your folder that has your derived data. In this case, you have the address down here. I can actually open up in my Finder to get to it right away. I can go ahead and close this now. So now in Xcode, you want to click on Derived Data. You want to find the file for your program. In this case, it's video 53 because I'm naming them after the video numbers. Inside, you're going to want to click on Build. You want to click on Products. Click on Debug. And there you have it, characters.txt. Now this is the moment of truth. When we open this, are we going to find what we want to find? Are we going to find all of our information neatly stored inside of the text file, or is it going to be a complete mess? Let's open it up, and boom, all of our information is neatly stored. Character number 1 is noobkiller5. He's a warrior, human, and then there's the stats right there. Character number 2, noobowner55, who's even better than noobkiller5. He has mage, dwarf, 62. I saw the 2 and I saw the 60, and I don't know why I got 20 out of that. 90, 9, wow, I'm not doing the numbers anymore. It's not working for me. 3, Course Grinder. You see, all the information is neatly stored inside of this. We actually can interpret what this information is going to be for each character, and each character is on a different line. I think it's about time I end this video, and I think it's about time I end this series. I'm starting to be able to, I'm not able to say any numbers. I'm not able to talk anymore. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. I hope you guys had a good time learning C++. There will be more videos added to this series, and I will be teaching more programming languages. This is the first programming language I have taught on YouTube, and I plan to move on to Java next. So if you would like to learn more programming language with me, I will have more videos coming up throughout the year. So make sure you check those out, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, leave questions in the comments. I'll answer all questions in any comment or any video. I'll find your comment. I'll answer it. If I don't know what the answer is, I will find the answer for you. Trust me, I'm here to help you. Really hope you guys enjoyed this series. I had a great time making it, and I'll see you guys hopefully in the next series. Goodbye.